Waking up to the soft patter of gentle rain was Adelaide's favorite way to start the day during cobweb harvesting season. It made the air fresh, the grass green, and it helped to calm the spiders as they prepared to leave the cobweb homes they had just finished spinning. Her list of things to do was long, but Adelaide looked forward to seeing the webs in their frames. The first job for the day was to move her lavender pots into position, to form a path from the barn where the spiders currently lived, to the new frames she had built down by the dam. She had made a playlist for the spiders, and would lay some treats, of slugs, bugs and cockroaches along the way to entice them to begin their journey. Just thinking about it excited her. When the spiders were safely departed, she could load up her tractor with the webs they had spun and move them to the workshop. She had new ideas for how they could be finished, and Hugo from the Arachnid Atelier had promised to come by later in the afternoon to share his design vision for the coming season's trends in spider web art and fashion. Adelaide was just getting comfortable with the new harvesting suit made by Poppy and her team at the Cobb Lab. Grateful as she was for all of Poppy's inventions, she sometimes took a little bit of time adjusting to Poppy's improvements. The suit, with its moose-inspired antlers mounted on a headband, formed a frame for a billowing net that attached to the top of her boots and gloves. Poppy explained that any spiders who were unhappy about the migration would not be able to break into her cloak. Safety first, she reminded herself, as she made her way toward the barn. With the lavender pots in position, and the adventurous beat of a reggae band playing, the spiders spotted the treat. One by one, they left the barn. Adelaide sometimes thought they looked like they might be dancing. As she loaded the last of the frames on her tractor, the sky snapped with a roar of thunder. Without a moment's notice, the soft breeze that had been keeping her cool in her giant net cloak became a strong wind. Her cloak was becoming like a parachute, and she was nervous that she might take flight. As the wind howled, she raced toward the dam. Lavender pots flew across the sky. She ducked as the tree from which she hung her hammock barely missed her head as it rocketed toward the dam. Oh no, she thought as the framed spider webs she had lovingly collected were blown across the paddock. If she hurried, she might be able to collect some of them before they were blown away forever, or buried under a pile of lavender and leaves. Instead, she worked quickly to remove her cloak and hang it between the trees by the dam. The spiders would be safe inside the net. She changed the playlist to a soothing piano piece to try and put the spiders at ease. She hurried back to the workshop to wait for the storm to pass and think about what she might do. Strangely, she found the powerful roar of the wind comforting as she looked through the photos she had taken of the webs that had been spun this season. Sadly, they were unlikely to be so beautiful after this storm. Maybe Poppy could use them for experiments in her lab. Adelaide drifted off for a nap in the workshop, and woke up as she heard the bell ring on Hugo's scooter. She snapped awake and ran outside to see the storm had passed. She had never seen such a mess. Adelaide barely had a moment to gather her thoughts as Hugo exclaimed,
"Adelaide, your spiders are exceptional. The structured chaos in the webs this harvest will define the trend for the season. What an inspired idea to add lavender to them. We need to get them polished and to the gallery straight away. I'm not sure we want to keep the rusty old nail in this one, but I can see what you were thinking with the trash chic vibe. Let's see if we prefer these pieces without the nails."
Adelaide beamed. Who knew a windstorm could be just what the harvest needed for her collection? She made a note to remember to ask Poppy if she has done any research into the strength of spider web silk. It must be mightily strong to endure that storm. As she went in search of her hammock, she thought, there is never a dull day on the salty spinner's stud.